mafia. We the mafia. We the mafia, Bills Mafia, Bills Mafia, we the mafia, we the mafia, Bills Mafia, Bills Mafia, we the mafia, Bills Mafia, Bills Mafia, we the mafia, Bills Mafia, Bills Mafia.
You know who the beast in the AFC East? We gon' grind this thing out for 17 weeks, yeah. You hating on them Bills, then you way off. Talk is cheap, meet us in the playoffs. Game day, you know we going off. Got your team captain shaking at the coin toss. We say mafia, that means family to me. Cause we stand with the team, best fans in the league.
Bills Mafia, Bills Mafia, we the mafia, we the mafia, Bills Mafia, Bills Mafia, we the mafia, Bills Mafia, Bills Mafia, we the mafia, Bills Mafia, Bills Mafia, we the mafia. Let's go Buffalo, let's go Buffalo, let's go Buffalo, let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo, let's go Buffalo, let's go Buffalo, let's go. We the mafia.
Yeah. Buffalo, stand up. It's the mafia. It's a Bill City. Yeah. A Buffalo Bill City. Yo. It's a Bill City. Yeah. A Buffalo Bill City. Yo. We got Josh Allen, got Steph Diggs, we got Cole. Deion Dawkins, cause you know it's about to snow. Mafia, you know we on a roll. No competition and it's not even close. Yeah.
It is going to be close. Dude, I'm nervous already. Another week of just being like, Listen, you ready for this? Patrick Mahomes has played 15 playoff games, not including the Super Bowl. Every single one of those games has been in Kansas City. This is his first away playoff game. I'm nervous. And I got to give a big shout. I got messages from like Scott and Frank and even Nick and James and Don and Ryan and all these people being like, dude, your team looks good. Your team looks good. I didn't feel that way tonight, but I also felt like we dealt with a lot of injuries. Big shout out to the Steelers. Listen, I was in a Steeler house. I felt bad. Like, I can't hold myself in. I wasn't being cocky. I was just, like, you cheer for the game, right? And I went up afterwards. I'm like, listen, I'm sorry. And they, no, it was a good game. I feel bad because you can't maintain. I wasn't, I just like, it was an intense game. I was worried the whole game. The only thing that got me ticked is I was like, we were up 21-0. And I said, all right, we were driving. I was like, if we score here and we come out in the half and score and 35-0, do we put our subs in? And my brother's like, stop. I'm like, what? And he's like, don't. And sure as shit, it was like 21-7 2 minutes later. And it was 21-10. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? But now, listen, the Steelers were out without TJ Watt. That game could have been crazy. I know Steelers fans are a little mad that they couldn't get the game in the snow too. Would it have been different? I mean, absolutely. The butterfly effect is crazy. But we're going to take our shot for the Bills game. If anyone wants to take it with me. I appreciate all the kind words. Appreciate your patience with this. Chris, thank you for filling this, for updating this while I was gone. Who do you guys got next week? I hate to even ask. Who do you got? Bills or the Chiefs? Chiefs are plus 2.5. That in the money line. So tonight, 84% of the money was on Buffalo at minus 10. I thought for sure, 100%, that the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to get a flag on that last throw, and they were going to score, and there was no chance they could win, but that would have covered the money line. 84% of the money would have lost on that spread. And because that didn't happen, everything in my head's like, wait, am I wrong? Like, is there a narrative? Is there a line? Like, is Vegas control it? Like, maybe it is just football. I don't know. I thought for sure the Steelers were going to score there. So listen, I have some things I have notes I want to talk about. I actually have notes. So Don, I bet him over 50, but it was a parlay. I bet Jalen Hurts over 30.5 here, and one big run just got called back. Good for you though, man. Nick was at the game. He said, congrats, my man. I said, did you at least have a good time? He said it was a blast. The weather actually made it more enjoyable. There were a couple I said, how were the fans to you? He said, there were a couple that were dicks. So I gave it right back to them, but most were awesome. I mean, that's every stadium. But I would say Cincinnati, I didn't have any mean fans of Cincinnati. There was not one mean person at Cincinnati. And I was started to the point where I was kind of like, hey, go Bills, to the Cincy fans. They're like, yeah. Scott's got Bills 34. I feel like Scott's trying that reverse psychology. Jeremy, they're not for another break tonight. I put this break together, but it was going to have to be at least $30 a spot. And the more I started to analyze it, you know how I put breaks together, right? I got this together. I took this big picture, and I was like, Chris, what do you think about this break? I don't know if I like it. And he's like, can you get a mem in there? I'm like, if I take this break apart, I'm doing a whole different break. It's not that I don't like it. It's a great deal for $30. The 2 boxes in the middle are H2. The 19 Prizm is a mega, but it has an autograph. I'm just like, I just feel like I only put mixes that I would get in myself. When I make a mix for you guys, I'm like, would I get into this mix? And I was like, man, I get into this mix for like 28, but I can't do it at 28. I would lose like 75, 80 bucks on it. And I was like, I'm like, some of it I paid way too much for. That's my problem. So I'm trying to break even on it. I can post a picture of it. Do you want me just to post it up tonight? I'll post it right now. I have it already ready to go, I think. If it fills later, that's fine. Let me see if I have a picture of it. But I want to get to talk, man. I have so many pictures I took tonight. Oh, dude, I got this lovely picture of my wife talking to my pap. I got to show you guys. It's fan. My pap was talking shit to my wife the whole time, and she was giving it right back to him. He flipped the whole table of wings accidentally, and he's like, he's 91 years old. Spry as could be. He made his own custom shoes. He taped to his black dress shoes. He taped Steelers stickers that he found. Oh, I wish I had the picture. It's so great. My pap is the man. 91 years old. He's like, I haven't worn this leather Steelers hat ever since I got it. It's 7 years old. It's probably worth $90. He's cracking me up, dude. 91 years old. Dude was wildin'. All right, I'm going to get this up here. Hold on. Give me a minute. I'm going to focus on this. I apologize, guys. All right, here we go. Late night mixer. And you guys know, honestly, when I say I'm not like a whatnot, like, oh man, I'm losing money. Honestly, this is a break-even mix for me. Probably more of a loss because I paid way too much for some of this. That's my fault, not yours. So I went on Blowout and like eBay and saw what it was, see what it was going for, and I priced it at that. I try to always be below them, but when I'm going to lose money, I try to go on them just to show you where I'm at. Plus, if I thought it was a better mix, I'd say like, oh, maybe I can make like $30 on it. I'll go up another $1, but it doesn't work on this. All right, here it is. It's posted. So listen, I got to show you guys. I just posted that. So you can go grab a spot if you want. Let me show you this picture, though. I got to show you. I should post it. Of my pap talking to my wife. Talking shit the whole damn time. 91 years old. I wish I had his shoes in it. She didn't know. They didn't know I was taking this. I saw them just jawing at each other. They were just loving life. Loving life. I mean, that to me right there just summed up my whole night. That made my whole night win or lose. That's a picture I will truly cherish forever. My boys getting in on the game on the way out. They were wowing. If you didn't see, man, I got my boys went nuts tonight. They played Switch most of the time. This is my pap, 91 years old. That's his leather hat. My Uncle Ray, stoned out of his mind, man. Love my Uncle Ray, but he was high as a kite. Snuck in a picture with my pap, 91-year-old Pappy. Love Pappy. But yeah, it was wild. But if you didn't see, man, the guy's house we were at, it's my like cousin-in-law. My cousin Miranda's married to him. Dude, I'm telling you, you want to talk about a man cave? Dude, did I get the Rooney? All right, here we go. Steel curtain, autographs. That's all mini helmet signed. He's not a card collector. Ben Roethlisberger signed jersey. That's one of those prints that's autographed of the stadium. He's got, I forget what team that is. That's Jerome Bettis. His one back there was Chuck. Is it Chuck Knoll? That was his like most prized possession. He doesn't even have it in a case. Bill Cowher helmet. There's a Mike Tomlin autograph pylon. I had more. All right, here we go. The Rooney. The Rooney's wild. Super Bowl. All the Super Bowl tickets framed. Just like a legit. There's Bettis, Bradshaw, Mendenhall. So it was a good time. What did I say? Did I see something different? I may have. I don't know. But anyhow, listen, and I want to fill you guys in. So I always give shit to this guy, Corey, in our group. He's the one I room with when I go to the National, or he's a part of our group. He's a major college football fan. I'm a big NFL fan who doesn't really get into college. We don't butt heads, but we always have little, like jabs about it. And I'm like, man, the reason I love football so much, and honestly, I think my wife understands it now more than ever. Football is family to me. It is 100. I get chills just saying that. When I say football, I have goosebumps right now. I'm not kidding you. Look, football is family. From the time I was a kid, remember watching my dad have friends over to Mammy having games over every Sunday to like nights like tonight. It is absolutely why I love football. I don't even watch pregame because I cannot get into the politics of it. I can't get into all the extra anymore. It's a lot of extra. And I talk to a lot of people like, I can't watch football ever since and excuse me, I'm not trying to get political, but like ever since the Kaepernick thing and blah, blah, I'm like, then don't watch that part of it. I get it from military perspectives, and I try to like talk to them and understand. But listen, man, if it brings you closer, watch it. If it brings you apart or it makes you separate yourself from your family, don't do it. Right? So I'm like, but football is family to me. That's my point. So cheers if your team won. If it lost, thanks for joining. Listen, everyone's going to get picked on. We're going to go pick on Larry and for the Browns losers. We're going to pick on Jamie. We're going to pick on the Cowboys fans. We're going to pick on these guys. But the fact is, guess what? I told my kid tonight, 14 teams get to go to the playoffs out of 32. And my son goes, dang. Because he goes, how many teams are in the league? He's starting to he gets numbers well, and he's starting to ask questions about football. He's like, so how many teams are in the NFL? I said 32, and I go, but only 14 make it. And he goes, dang. And like he kind of was like, all right. And I said, once you lose, you're done. So it is a feat. It is something that the Bills went without for over, was it 17 years? And so, Scott, I will enjoy the ride, man. And you know what? I want to win next week, but I will be heartbroken if we don't, but that's part of the ride, too. The ups, the downs, the ebbs, the flows. It's such a roller coaster of emotions. And we're going to talk about the officiating today a little bit. But we still... You're right. It had to be about family. You're right. But it's even more so now. It's even more fun now. All right. I'm going to shut the hell up. We're going to get to ripping. I'm going to take this shot. To the Blazing fam, to you guys who listen to me nonsensical talk about all this stuff all the time. Maybe we'll fill another break tonight. Let's see. Go Bills. And this isn't one of those 10% ones. This is the 33% one. So... So I can tell you guys now, when we were 7 wins and predicted to not make the playoffs, and I'm not jinxing it now because now we're out of the round. But I had the Bills and the Lions in there. They both won this week, so now I'm kind of following that. So I want to talk about rule changes, and I believe that there are probably a few. So let me start by asking you guys, if you are going to change one rule in the NFL. You get to pick one rule that you want to change. What is a rule in the NFL that you're going to change? You get to change one rule. Or in the case of Dan Marino, he never got to really experience a Super Bowl win, right? I just want one Super Bowl win. That would be the once-in-a-lifetime experience. Imagine not ever getting one. Jim Kelly knows that. Dan Marino knows that. Now, listen, 4 division wins in a row is nice. It's nothing to scoff at. I wish I would have bought more division win clothing along the way. I just don't want to settle at that. I just feel like everything less than a championship. Scott, my brother would love you for saying that. Let me jot that down because I want to talk about this. So Don says fumble through the end zone. I have that in my notes, so we'll get to that. Kneel downs don't go again. Kneel downs aren't negative yardage. I love that. And you know what that goes against too with betting now? That is a negative yardage on rushing yards. The below knee tackles. Well, listen. Who said that? Jeff, here's my thing. You can't go high. You already can't go low. They want to get rid of hip tackles, like the hip dip, whatever it is. Where the hell are you supposed to tackle? And Jeff, I'm not arguing with you. I don't think you can, you can't cut, the knee cut now. But, eventually, and I don't want to be that old curmudgeon as, let's just make it flag football. Because, dude, these guys hit hard. Tonight, there was a Bills linebacker that hit, I forget who it was, but he didn't hit him illegally, hit him in the chest. Who was it? Because the guy went out. It was one of their receivers, the Steelers receivers. And he just drove. And it was classic good grit tackle. Just took him down. And it was clean. But I'm like, dude, you just can't play like that all the time. Right? Ooh, let's talk about Trevon Diggs. There's a John Randall. Ryan Tannehill. Let's talk about him too. Man, let's do that other break. I have so much I want to talk about. There's a Hendon Hooker. Any other ones? So, Anthony, I'm with you. I get it. The hip drop tackle hurts. So now, let's say this. Can't hit high, can't hit low, can't do the hip drop. Don't want to do the tush push. It's close contact because that's dangerous. So, and I'm not arguing with you. I want this feedback. I want to know where you guys are at. But, what are the players supposed to do? The timing of these guys, the speed of these guys, and I'm not arguing with you. I just don't know what the solution is. So we all have these suggestions, and it's just when does the game just lose the game, Let me see. Get rid of those knee tackles. Fumble through the end zone. Stop the hip drop tackle. The Philly implode. This game's far from over. Pass interference is a 10-yard penalty on a missed catch and not a spot foul. So we're going to talk about PI, but PI yardage. I want to talk about offense versus defense in that. So whatever. So yeah. That's a whole different story. So I'm with you. My number one pick. I'll go now that you guys had a chance. And Anthony, to your point, it becomes where can we delineate between intent and so where do you get intent and just, what do you call it? Just oh, wow. I'm not going to hit a single bet because guys like Trey Palmer are scoring touchdowns. There's a Jordan Love. There's a Cameron Hayward. Lockdown. Deontay Johnson out of 125. He had a touchdown tonight. Jack Campbell. Yeah, Draymond Green is intent. But so there's that's an ejection. They already do that, right? So here's my thing. You guys mentioned it. The end zone fumble to me is the first thing that needs to go. And I'm going to go move into pass interference next, and I'll tell you why. I think these two relate. If you fumble out of your own end zone, it's a safety. Let's say you get the ball on the 2-yard line, and I get that one. But you get the ball on your own 2-yard line. You drive 98 yards, right? 97 yards. You're on the 1-yard line. You have worked 9 minutes off the clock. You have 97 yards of offense, 9 minutes off the clock. Your player gets the ball. If he fumbles at the 1 and it goes out, you get the ball. If he fumbles and it bounces over and goes on the other side of the pylon, it's a touchback for the other team. You get nothing, nada, zilch, zero. That needs to be same down. You go back to the 20-yard line. That's an easy rule fix. It is an absolutely easy rule fix. It's done. Over. It's the same, like it's just a touchback for the offense. Even do it to the 25. I don't give a shit. Give it to the 25. So now it's a 24-yard penalty, right? But to lose the ball after a 98-yard, 7-minute drive is absolutely absurd. All right? I don't even care if it's not the spot of the fumble. Scott, that might be good. I'd be fine with that too. Spot of the fumble, it goes there, right? Just like an out of bounds would. I'm good with that. But if you really want to punish the team, don't take the ball away from them. Which leads me to my next problem with the rule. Let me get through this, Pat. And this one affected us tonight, but someone brought it up last week, and I think it was you, Chris Taylor. And it may have been Jamie. It was in the Steelers game, and I actually don't know what the situation was. I didn't see it. There's a Sam Howsilver and a Tyree Wilson, numbered out of 199. But we saw it tonight. Tonight, when, for the second time, the Steelers fumbled the ball and the Bills had to challenge it. They got it. They said that the ball touched. They didn't even clarify, but we're assuming that the ball touched Freiermuth's helmet on the way out. Bills recovered it inbounds. It stayed in bounds. The ball never went out of bounds. But however, because Freiermuth was partially out of bounds and the ball nipped his helmet, the ball is now considered out of bounds. And now, last week, I saw a picture of Pickens with his legs. I don't know what the story is here. Pickens' legs were out of bounds. He was reaching to grab the ball. Maybe you guys can clarify. I never really understood what happened there. So why, if a player is out of bounds and touches that ball, is it out of bounds? Especially if it benefits them. So the end zone fumble and then the out of bounds on a fumble. So it sounds like the fumble out of bounds, that whole thing needs to be evaluated. And the reason I want to talk about this tonight, that's what blows my mind, Jeff. And my brother brought that up too. Not to keep bringing my brother into it. Like, Scott, you guys are on my brother's page. My brother's like, oh, so we're just going to be like, oh, we looked at it and the call stands. And I was like, you're right. Like, normally it's like, after review, the ball touched the player's helmet while the player was standing out of bounds. Call stands is called. First down, Steelers. But they're just like, nah, fuck you guys. NFL came down and they said that they need this game to stay a little bit closer because all the second half marketers spent $2 million for a 30-second ad. And if this is a 35-0 game, those ads are worthless. So the call stands is called. Like, that's how I feel. And again, this is after we won. I'm not bitching about the result of the game. I just, it is insane. It is insane. Anton Harrison, rookie out of 249, going to the Jags. So, and then on that note, all my things that I want in role changes tonight actually kind of like layer. So end zone fumble, out of bounds fumble, and then challenges. And this actually goes. The next one I have 4. The next one goes with it. So I'm gonna so challenges. The way challenges work right now, and it used to be nothing could be reviewed unless it was challenged, right? And you got 2 challenges. If you get both right, you get a third. If you get the third right, you get no more. Fuck you. The refs just suck tonight. You got 3 right, and now you're out of challenges. And this has happened before in games. A team has gotten all 3 right. They go into the 4th quarter. The refs make another bonehead call, and they can't fix it because they got their first 3 challenges right. They just got stuck with, ooh, do we have a case hit coming up? They just got stuck with a shit team of refs, and I'm all right with it even costing a timeout. The whole thing when the review thing happened, it was very battled. If you remember, football purists, it's kind of like the pitch count. They didn't want this game to be skewed. Oh, now we're going to be reviewing, and they promised that the review would only be 90 seconds long, and that if you did it, it would cost you a timeout, so that's how they were going to recover the time. And, you know, it's okay because if they get it right, they get their timeout and they get another challenge and this and that. To me, if you shouldn't, it should be you get 2 challenges. If you get it wrong, you lose one. If you get it right, you don't lose it. There you have 2. So you challenge the second one. You get it wrong, now you only have 1 left. But as long as you're getting your challenges correct, you don't lose a challenge. What's the VAR approach? What is that? I saw you mention that twice now. I don't know if I know what that is. Maybe I'm not. Hype. Amon-Ra. Is that a case hit? I don't know that we've seen those yet. And we're going to get a Desmond Ridder autograph for the Atlanta Falcons. Bill Belichick has interviewed for the Atlanta Falcons job. Jim Harbaugh. Jim, right? John or Jim? John's the Ravens coach. The Michigan coach has now interviewed for the Chargers job, and Bill Belichick has now interviewed for the Atlanta Falcons job, which blows my mind a little bit, but at the same time, if they go after Caleb Williams... Well, Jeff, all right, so the booth review, that is my 4th thing. So Enzo fumble, out of bounds fumble, challenges, and then here's my thing. This happened tonight. There was a flag thrown, and it was going to be pass interference on the Steelers against the Bills. And here's what happens. The refs all get together, right? And we knew right away, they're either going to not call anything, they're going to call it uncatchable. So all the refs are doing this. They're talking, they start doing this. Earpiece. So New York now has the ability to call down and clarify things. New York can make calls. They can review things. So just get rid of the fucking challenges in New York. You make the calls. Stop making these coaches fix it. If you have a team of people in New York that's watching this game, why are you making the coaches do it? Let's streamline this process. But it's subjectivity. It controls the game just a little bit more. So they're like, so was it? No? So we're going to call that holding? Illegal contact? Is it pass interference illegal? Okay, we're going to call holding. All right, cool. Just fucking eliminate that step. Why do we have to have a coach go, I got a red flag. Let's throw the red flag. Why? Why are we doing this? And you know what it is? Because they think we're stupid. And Mark, but that's what they want. So everyone's like, why do they do that then? Subjectivity in the rules allows for control. Subjectivity allows for them to waiver the game. And you know what it does? Negative publicity is ratings. Why is the news negative? Why? I'm not trying to get off on a soapbox here or do anything. But it's good. When there's clickbait from the NFL, that's good. They want that. And again, I know it sounds conspiracy theory-esque, but it's not a bad thing for ratings. If I'm Roger Goodell, I'm not changing a damn thing I'm doing. That guy has been the best thing that ever happened to the NFL from a monetary standpoint. There is a reason that dude will work until he doesn't want to work. I'm not necessarily a big fan of him. I think he's done a lot of bad things for the fans. But from a business perspective, Roger Goodell is the best thing for the NFL. He has this fine line between being a douchebag, i.e., just go watch anything Dave Portnoy has to say about Roger Goodell, and he's spot on. I'm not always a Dave Portnoy fan either. But Barstool Dave Portnoy, he hates Roger Goodell, and he has every right to. Because he's bad for the fans. And Jeff's right. Jeff, they could have a perfect system in place with AI and booth review and this and that, and people are still going to argue. Because some things are genuinely subjective. And I'll go back to the helmet fumble tonight. I agreed. I don't agree with the rule, but I thought it touched his helmet while he was out of bounds. I thought that should have maintained, according to the rules of the NFL, I thought they got it right. That should have still been a Steelers ball. I was the only Bills fan in the room to say that. And everyone's like, no, it never touched his helmet. I'm like, I saw it touch his helmet while his foot was out of bounds. So yeah, there is a puka right here. Sorry, I missed it, Don. I'll just leave that up for you. There's a puka right here. Does anyone know real quick, is this a case hit? Is the hype cards case hits? Because that looks really good. And I haven't seen those yet. Can someone... So, Jeff, it's funny because my brother said the same... Again, my brother. He's like, Mike, you're nuts. It didn't hit. I'm like, I saw it hit. Like, do I want it to hit? No, I want the Bills to get the ball. I want the Bills to get the ball, but, like, I see what I see. Oh, no, it's not. That's just a hollow. So they have hype cards. So the silver is nice, though. Amon-Ra silver is nice. We got a Brian Dawkins numbered out of 199. Joey Porter went down tonight, and Evan Hall. Something grabs the jersey 3 yards across the field. All right, hold on. Also, if under 2 minutes in a game, you complete a pass for 40-yard touchdown, grabs the tip of the jersey. Yeah, Roger, I get that. Like an off the ball calls that don't affect the play. Yeah, that's a tough one. That goes back to the intent. Like, we don't know. Could that have been his first look and he saw that and didn't do it? I'd have to think more about that to give my honest opinion on that. But I see what you're saying. Clayton Tune and Aiden O'Connell. Here's going to be our second autograph. How about them Cowboys, though? He said, hey, Chris, how many spots we got left in that break? Maybe I can continue talking tonight. I'll tell you what. I'll give it to you, Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers, Logan White with the Jack Ham legend. Jack Ham autograph. 2 vets tonight. Desmond Ridder and Jack Ham. Maybe we'll still get a case hit. So we lost. We already didn't have... one of our starting linebackers tonight. I'm not going to try to think about this right now. And then we lost Bernard. And then we lost another linebacker tonight. We lost an offensive lineman. I mean, we're in trouble. We're in trouble for next week. And I appreciate the confidence that you guys have. But at the same time, I just don't know. Here's where it lies. And I'm not going to get into this whole ref thing. But everything... Listen, did you see I'll start here. Did you see the results of the Peacock game? 28 million people watched it. I haven't heard reports of there's 15 spots left. Chris, do you have an everyone tag that you can do? Because if it's full by like 11:15, that's a half hour from now, I'll do it. So my wife said this was all plotted. She's about the same as me. I wouldn't call her a conspiracy theorist, but she doesn't necessarily think everything's accidental. There's intent to everything. There's a tank though. So she said, oh, of course they're going to schedule that. Taylor Swift on Peacock. Every Swiftie is going to buy Peacock. Even if they're not a football fan. There's a Jalen Hurts all-purpose and a Kenneth Walker out of 249. There you go, Scotty. Nice car. Nice PC. Highest streams... So, Roger, here's the thing. If you don't think that has to do with Taylor Swift, you're naive. And I believe every one of us believes that has partially to do with Taylor Swift. All right? So, if the Chiefs get to the Super Bowl this year and Taylor Swift's in a box, I'm willing to stake this on it. I am willing to put the fact that if the Chiefs don't go to the Super Bowl this year, I don't necessarily think that the NFL controls or has control as much as I'm starting to think they do. But if they do, it's very hard to ignore the fact that maybe they just want ratings and money. And listen, Mahomes is good. They could get there on talent. And I'm not saying it's just going to be just the fact that Taylor Swift there. You have to have a good system in place. Mahomes is undeniably the best quarterback in the NFL. Undeniably the best quarterback in the NFL. Anybody can argue me. Patrick Mahomes, without a doubt, best quarterback in the NFL. Portals, Breece Hall, and then Brian Burns with the Panthers out of 99. But this year, I feel like it's a down rebuild year for the Chiefs. Pacheco's solid. Rashee Rice is a great young youth start to that team. Whoa, Don. Maybe we have a chance. Dude, is this one of those things? I'm definitely a conspiracy theorist. Is this one of the things where the NFL's like, look, we know Taylor can't be there. Everyone thinks we're going to do this. At the beginning of the season, we put Keegan out there, Keegan Peele or whatever his name is, and we did this whole, like, we convinced them that's the storyline or whatever it is, the script. Let them think that. They don't know Taylor Swift's overseas. Let them think it. My wife swears this is the Bills' year. Every year, the last 3 years, I'm like, this is the Bills' year. This is the Bills' year. And my wife's like, settle down. Settle down. Gardner Minshew out of 249. And this year, my wife's like, Mike, I think this is their year because you don't think it is. I'm like, it's not. They can't make it. We're injury prone. Is there a chick out? Katy Perry? There's not. There is no other Taylor Swift. She is the Patrick Mahomes of the pop world via the NFL. You know, Tyreek Stevenson, Foskey. Will Anderson, Prizm, and a Marvin Jones out of 125. So, listen. So, Breland. Joe Burrow could do... Who's... I'll ask you this. Any like, younger people in this room that's, like, into the YouTube, the influencer world? Is there any influencers out there that are super huge that could bring in the influencer market? Because I do believe Taylor Swift gets this whole, like, our age range, right? Or, like, slightly older, slightly younger than us. But influencer is a demographic much younger than, like, our age range. I would say generally here we're 30 to 45, 50-year-old dudes, right? 30 to 50. Influencers are more like 12 to 28, 30, 12 to 30 range. Even influencers go young. So if they could get the top influencer female to come in and be like, hey, I'm dating Joe Burrow, the influencer world could jump in. And then that could be a whole thing, right? That could be a whole other thing. So the girl from Call Her Daddy? Who's that? Yeah, Kim's played out. Kim's like rode hard and put away wet, as my wife would put it. She's like played out. She blew her load on Kanye, literally and figuratively. Like, right? She's like her star status is gone because of Kanye. And she even went a step further, was like, oh, let's do Pete Davidson real quick. He's popular. And now it's like if she got with Joe Burrow, be like, oh, cool. Kim Kardashian's with another one. You know? It has to be someone different. All right, guys, before I recap, before I give away 2 $5 hitless credits, and before we give away a week 2 spot, I appreciate you guys. Scott, the kneel down is cool. The PI is interesting. We talked about clarification on what New York can challenge. I'm going to talk about PI in the Eagles game, and I forget why. It was on the left side. Hold on, I got to picture this. Oh, it kind of just went back down the channel. It was clearly PI. And this is what I don't get. Like, they tried it because of the Rams-Saints game a few years ago. Why can't we challenge PI? Like, it was clear as day. He prevented him from coming back to the ball. To me, that's the biggest mishap in all of football. Why can't we be challenging this PI stuff? If New York looks at that, if they see it and they're like, oh, hey, he did. I mean, it's clear as day it was PI. There are some that's kind of like, we're going to let that go. Let me try to tag people here. Some group members who might receive. I don't know if this will go through. It looks like it came through a little bit. Let me see if it came through. I'm going to try to fill it for you guys. I didn't really want to post it tonight because I was on shore. So we'll see how it goes. Livy Dunn? Ooh, that would be good. Livy Dunn, all right. Dude, she's LSU, super popular in the influencer, athletic. Dude, Livy Dunn. Lizzo, she burned her bridge with the whole backup dancer fat shame thing. Yes, Scott, it is, but the NFL has tapped that market. And that's why I think they brought in Taylor Swift, because it hits the female demographic. I keep thinking, what's the NFL looking at from a business perspective? So they have done a good job of getting the military people back, the older crowd back that went away, and then now it's how do we get the youth to you don't even have to have them spend money now, but you have to get them to pay attention to it. So mom and dad, can you get me a shirt? Can you get me clothing? I like this team. I want to get in the car. They need to, it needs to be the Disney approach. Disney is this all-encompassing brand, right? It's not Mickey Mouse. It's just this cultural mindset. That's what the NFL wants. They need to have a cultural mindset. Oh, Uncle Trump. All right, let me recap. Appreciate you guys listening to me tonight. I'm on one. I'm gonna take another shot if we do another break. So, or if anyone sends me one now, I'll give out 3 $5 hitless credits. Fuck it, I'll give out 4 $5 hitless credits. We'll give out $20 in credit if anyone here sends me a video shot that I can take one with. Because I just love you guys and I want to give out extra money, but I ain't gonna do it for nothing. So someone send me a video of the shot and we'll do that together. Anybody want to take one for the team here? It's like adding. Scott, you nailed it. That's a little different. That's like a steroid story. So you take a classic and you add a little bit of juice to it. Man, they're dipping in the whole different. That's like bringing in a category. You're bringing in an entire demographic. Taylor Swift was the most brilliant thing. I still don't think it's real. I think it is. There was a cute meet and greet with Kelsey and Swift. I think they hit it off. I think we can make this work. They're young. They're gonna fuck. They're gonna be whatever. But I don't think it's I don't think this was accidental. I don't think he showed up with a bracelet and was like, "Hey, you want to hang?" It doesn't make sense on any level of any part of life. Does it make sense? Puka Nakua and then Hendon Hooker. We got a Will Anderson silver. There was another silver, wasn't there? No rookies, I guess. Amon Ra hype silver and all-purpose Jalen Hurts silver. And here's our numbered. Ice Spice, please no. Roger, you also, here's the problem you get. You can't deter fans. So people don't like the fact that Taylor Swift is getting all this attention, but they don't hate her enough to not watch the NFL, right? There are enough people, I think, that don't like even people who like rap music or hip hop or Ice Spice is, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old. Is Ice Spice, am I old that Ice Spice is actually good and I'm just too old to enjoy it? I don't ever want to be the guy that's this music's awful. And my dad said that, and I was like, Dad, this is great. Is Ice Spice good? And I'm just old. Ryan Tannehill out of 149. Deontay Johnson out of 175. She won Song of the Year, Hip Hop Song of the Year. Out of 199, Tyree Wilson. Anton Harrison out of 249. Champ Bailey out of 125. Brian Dawkins out of 199. K-Dub out of 249. Brian Burns out of 99. Gardner Minshew out of 249. And Marvin Jones Jr. out of 125. Our autographs were legendary. Well, wait, not legendary. Atlanta Falcons, Desmond Ridder. Bill Belichick got interviewed today. Let's see what happens. And legendary, sensational signatures. Jack Ham for the Pittsburgh Steelers going out to Logan White. Ice Spice is a dumpster. I always promised myself as a young person. I remember saying to my dad, when my dad would say those things, when all my teachers or elders would say this, I'm like, I'm never going to be the guy that doesn't try to see a kid's perspective. And I taught for 10 years. And the one thing I realized is kids' perspective is so wild, right? And if you can try to get perspective, You can be a lot more intelligent than you would be without it. It's hard, man. I listened to it. I sat and listened to the Song of the Year by Ice Spice. It was so hard. It was so hard to listen to. And I'm like, all right. I started listening to it again. I'm like, no, there's no content here. This is making me dumber. Chargers and the Jets. So what I need to do is go back and listen to like Ja Rule. You see what Dungy said about Swift? No, I didn't. Lainey Wilson lost her cake. That's all right. She was a little big. She looks good now. The hot girl from Target is hotter than any of those girls. You ain't wrong, Don. Did you send one? You did. All right. Let me finish this up. Wait, was that the results for round 7? Did I do it? I didn't see if I did it. I did. Who got it? It was the Chargers and the Jets. Sorry. Don Wiley and Jeff Guffey. Swift is the reason fans are leaving. I don't believe that. I believe that she has just enough likability that when you hate her, you just want to watch the hate more. It's like watching the Desperate Housewives of like Miami or Basketball Wives or The Bachelor. Like you hate the people there. Like you hate them, but you can't look away. She is the car accident that people want to drive by. It just is what it is. And I'm a Swiftie fan. Like I am. There's things about her I don't like. My wife despises her. Says like, she won't even watch football ever again if the Chiefs beat the Bills. She hates Patrick Mahomes. My wife's hottest trait is that she hates Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. She has many other features, but week 2 playoff spot. Here we go. By Travis Scott. I like Travis Scott. I'll listen to that. I got to get a few more shots of me. Oh, wait. I have to give away 2 more $5 credits. Bengals and Bucks. This is for the week 2 playoff Scott. It's just Bengals. Robert Martin. And then I got to give away 2 more $5 credit. I'll take away the people who won because it was supposed to be 4. Robert Martin, Cincinnati Bengals. You won yourself a playoff spot. TJ Watt? What's wrong with TJ Watt? All right, real quick. Let me pull up this. Did we get anyone more in this break? And then I'm gonna take a shot with Jeff, and we're gonna give away a couple more dollars. Let me see where we're at here. We'll go till 11:30. We have a half an hour. So 6. Oh, Brandon claimed the same spot. So let's assume 2 there. 3, 4. 11. All right, hold on. All right, so let me get this shot here. Mikey. Jeffy's on the screen. What up, Jeffy? Let me get a shot, though. Got to get one out. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. I love y'all. The words of encouragement, the shit you guys gave me all week. You pick on me. You give me anxiety. I hate you for it. But it's. I thought of you guys so much tonight during the game. Keep you guys in my thoughts. Laugh at you guys. Even people are like, "What are you laughing at?" I'm like, something in my group. Like it is legit. So cheers to you guys.
You know, I'm always good for a shot. I can't think of an influencer to
Libby Dunn.
But
Fireball.
That's all I have. She might be worn out, but she's still pretty hot.
Okay.
Cheers.
I got you.
Go Texans.
Yeah.
Mikey.
So, Jeff, couple things. Kim Kardashian, the reason I can't I'm not good with fake body parts. I rather just like very mediocre, tatas and implants. I don't like implants. Ass implants creep me out. Like that's a thing that's weird. That's like ass implants is really weird, and people do that. But moving on from that, here is the thing that I would like to see the most. I would like to see. Sorry if there's any Ravens fans in here. I would like to see the Ravens lose to the Texans. If we can beat the Chiefs and we get the Texans at home, I'm scared of the Texans. I'm not taking anything away from the Texans. But it would be a wild, wild thing to watch the Texans and the AFC. I may go to that game. I don't care what it cost me. So I took the two teams that won out. This is because Jeff took a shot. This is bonus $5 credits. It's going to be the Broncos and the Ravens. Let's get this up. Oops, Chris, I'm sorry to mark you off earlier. Broncos and Ravens. It's going to be Jeff. That's the way it should be. And Rob Shelton. Jeff got credit, and he's the reason we got it. Jeff, you did it for the fan, but you got a little one there. So that's awesome, man. That's the perfect example of karma. Love you guys for coming in. Let me check one final time where we're at on these spots. I'll get this cleaned up. If we're ready to go at 11:30, I'll random it up. I'll stay up and rip. My kid's already got a 2-hour delay for tomorrow. James Ray with 22. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 spots left. I'll make a little post. Let's see. Here we go. Posting a little attempt here. Yeah, it's like that just like fell apart. Chris, that needed to. Like, he can't be focusing on another. That was a rebound chick. I think like I think they tried that. The NFL tried that and it didn't hold. And they're like, we need to go bigger. So they went Taylor. They just paid up. They tried to buy the Hyundai, and then they're like, nah, we need the Lamborghini. We're the NFL. We don't need to be, This game is over. Sirianni is fired tomorrow. Mike McCarthy is fired tomorrow. The AFC North, the AFC North and the NFC East are fraudulent. Put them on notice. At least the Dolphins gave the Chiefs a run in the cold in Kansas City. The Eagles are getting annihilated. The Browns got slaughtered. The Steelers, they made it more fun than the Browns did. But the Ravens got a bye. If the Ravens that's just like... in this wild world of NFL. If the Texans beat the Ravens, can we admit the AFC North is the most fraudulent division in the NFL? Everyone said strong Division 3 team. But play each other twice, you look real pretty. I don't know, man. I was a little bit perturbed and you guys picked them as the hottest. NFC North, NFC South fought for that spot. And they might be better than you think. Maybe their records are low because they just beat each other. I don't think that's the case. But it's a fraudulent divisions in the NFL. Come back at 11:30 when we rip this mega mix and see. I hope y'all feel it. We'll see. Chris, thank you either way. Guys, thank you for listening to my nonsense. I love y'all. See you tomorrow.